Okay. Are you ready? Let's imagine that I've warmed you up. Oh my God. Warmed you up and introduced you properly.
Okay.
Okay. So Lily.
Megan.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm really excited to be your first guest. It's an honour. Honestly.
Yes, it is.
Because people say I sound really sarcastic when I say things. And I do. I can be quite monotone, but I actually mean that. I'm really excited. And I'm quite nervous. Are you?
Yeah. Mostly that I'm going to say something that ends my career.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm excited too. Okay, so Lily.
Yes.
We're going to start with a segment which I've called Who the Fuck Are You?
Nice.
So,
From your famous line.
yes, but for copyright reasons, I don't know if I can say the whole line.
I see. Redacted.
So, I'm Megan fucking Prescott. Who the fuck are you?
I'm Lily fucking Loveless.
Okay.
More?
Lily, what do you do? I will have introduced you with like the on paper what you do, but tell us how you would describe yourself. What do you do for work?
So I am an actress and screenwriter. Yeah, just an all-round entertainer.
Fantastic. And we've got a segment called A Day in the Life, which is just a bit about as a creative freelancer, I am, as a neurodiverse creative freelancer, I'm always a bit like, I don't understand how other people do, like, how do people do this? How are they now I've got a bit more of an idea, but like before I was like, how do you do it? Like,
how do you do
what does your day look like? How do you structure your day? Like, how does, a lot of careers have a very clear trajectory, and it's, you do this, and then if you do it well, you get to this stage, and if you do that well, you get to this stage. Creative freelancing, not so much. So I'd like to have a segment where we ask each guest like what an average day in their life looks like.
Okay.
I know that the nature of our jobs means we don't really have average days.
Yeah.
But tell us about like a good day in your life, like kind of average day in your life.
Okay, so you're right. Like all my days are different. There's no sort of 2 days the same, really. But I would say, so a good day for me would be getting up relatively early.
I'm not saying anything.
Listen, there's body clocks and people can't help if they're night people. And I can't help it.
I should say at this point, I'm sure I will have said it in the intro, but me and Lily live together.
Meg knows nothing about my life.
Carry on.
So yeah, I would get up, try and get out of the house for a morning walk. To sort of just get my brain running, home, and to my desk, where I will usually be working on more than one writing project at a time. So I'll usually split the day into two, and I'll do the morning until lunch on one project, eat some lunch, scroll through Instagram for far too long, probably hang my head out of the front window for a while and see what's going on out there, and then back to my desk to work on whatever else needs working on for the day. Because working on one thing for a full working day is hard. But also I do finish my days quite late, I would say, because you get up and out really early, so you come home at a normal time. But I'm still working. Yeah. Because I also get up early, just not as early. You don't know what's going on in my room when the door is shut.
Door at 7:30.
Do you remember when I asked you to do that?
I know.
Why did you stop?
Because I feel guilty. I'm like, she isn't up. And like, also, I'm like, no one likes their alarm clock. And we're friends, so like I don't want to be your alarm clock because you will end up hating me.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure on you, to be fair. Because,
the sound of my voice will irritate you even more than it maybe already does if it's saying,
well,
get up.
If you're worried about me hating you for waking me up, you could always wake me up with a cup of tea.
Fuck off.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
Good morning, darling. Here's your Earl Grey with a bit of
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, that would...
I have to get up early, otherwise I'm like, I get the best work done from literally 8 a.m. to midday.
That's
and then
mental.
After that, my brain is like, oh, well, it's midday, which means it's nearly like 3 o'clock, which means it's nearly 6 o'clock, which means it's the end of the day. So there's no point doing anything because you failed today. Like, that's what my brain does. So
I get that, because I did have a phase of getting up super, super early, going swimming with my best friend at London Fields Lido at like literally 5 a.m.
Jesus.
Go swimming and go straight to the library to work.
Yeah.
Because you have to get there early to make sure you get a good seat. This is the thing. When you're like us, it is so hard to get out of the house unless you have a direct consequence of not being somewhere at a certain time.
Now for me, I'm like so, well, not anymore, but I would be so like negative towards myself if I didn't do it. I'd be like, no, because if I don't get out, the feeling of guilt when I get home of like not doing like a full day's work, that's not a healthy way to be. So this, I'm not suggesting this is a good idea, but yeah, it would be like, just feel pure guilt if I didn't get out.
Yeah. But it's hard for freelancers because you never feel like you've done enough work, and you never take breaks, and you never take holidays because you don't know when the next job is coming, so you can't ever stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I found this meme that it was like, oh, I decided I didn't want to do a 9-to-5 job, so I became a freelancer, and now I work 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, there is no clock out time. But because of that, people think, well, it's fine, I can work whenever I want. But that's like, yeah, all right, but you also need to have weekends and evenings, which I don't
also,
often take, which is not good.
If you don't work on the weekend, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
If I watch 3 episodes or something in bed on a Sunday morning, I'm like, I wonder how much work I could have done in that amount of time.
I actually work better. I work best when other people aren't working. So because I feel like there's less pressure on me to work. So like, Saturdays and Sundays and bank holiday. Bank holiday's annoying though because nobody else is working, so no one gets back to your emails. That's annoying. But normally on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm like, oh, I don't have to work, so there's no pressure, so I work better, and I feel like I'm like getting ahead. But then in the week, I then need to remind myself that I didn't take a weekend or even one day off, so I need to take a day off in the week. And then you get those irritating fuckers with regular 9-to-5 jobs who'll be like, oh, it's alright for some, oh, Tuesday off,
I know,
must be nice.
When I was working, I had a desk at this like freelance office for a while, and I would get there for like 10 a.m. This is my desk, no one's going to be sitting there. And I would work until 7. And my stepdad said, because I'd been working really, really hard. I'd had my first commission for a script. And I was on the verge of nervous breakdown while writing this pilot episode because it's so much pressure. Luckily, the amazing women that I was working with, I rang them up, like, on the verge of tears. And they were like, look, if you don't have this phone call with us, that means you're not working. Every single new writer, has this breakdown moment when they're on their first project. Going, I can't do it. It's too much. It's too hard. I'm not smart enough. But yeah, so I was going through that, took up smoking again, since the age of whenever, because it was so stressful. And I was going out to work, I think, one morning, and I saw my stepdad, and he was like, well, you start pretty late though, don't you? And I was like, I will kill you.
My blood is boiling. Honestly.
I will kill you. Yes, I'm getting there for 10, but that makes no difference in the amount of work I'm doing today.
And also the other annoying thing is people being like, oh, always on your phone. Always on your phone, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, you know what phones can do nowadays? Basically almost everything a computer can do. So no, I'm not just, well, sometimes I am just like texting, fannying around, but most of the time I'm replying to emails. I'm like getting back to messages on OnlyFans. I'm doing things that I'm like, oh, I've got a couple of minutes here, do some work, got a couple of minutes here, do some work. Like,
in conclusion, we are the hardest working people here.
I think so.
Maybe not the hardest working.
Shall we talk a bit about how we met? because that will bring us on nicely to our chat about skins.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
So a lot of people, I assume, will think we met on the set of Skins, but that's actually not true. We met a few years before Skins, and tell us a little bit about how we met.
So I met Meg and her twin sister Kat at a Saturday drama class in North London, in Wood Green to be specific, called Mount View, which is a really good drama school, and they have like this sort of youth Saturday drama classes thing that they do, and we were in the same class.
You and Kat were in the same class.
Me and Kat, but we were in the same class for like a bit.
Maybe at the end we were. Because I do remember being in your class at some point.
Yeah. I've got a burp.
Oh my god, sorry. I heard that reverberate in my head.
Please take that out. Please take that out. That is so disgusting.
So yeah, because we met in this drama class. Lily, you actually terrified me quite a lot.
You terrified me? Are you joking? I was literally about to say that and then I didn't say it. I was literally about to say that and then I didn't say it. Because I didn't want to offend you.
This is why.
This is how your face looked every single Saturday.
Yeah.
For people listening, her face, it was a screw face.
Do it to the camera.
Resting bitch face.
I have had that feedback before about my face.
So have I, to be fair.
But
yours more so.
Yeah, it's from my nan. My nan has this like stare, which she's like this lovely old lady, but if she's not thinking of anything and really not engaged in anything, she'll be like scowling.
The nan that calls you Meggy.
No.
Oh.
The other nan.
Oh.
No. So I got my resting bitch face from her. But yeah, so we.
Why did I terrify you?
Probably for the same reason, but I feel like as women are often. The patriarchy doesn't want women to get on, because if we chat and we get along, we'll realise that like we could do the shit better than they could. So they've got to separate the women. So we are raised to believe that other women are our competition and we hate each other and they're a threat and they're going to steal our partners and all this shit. So